Subaru Australia doesn't appear to be any better than MG or let's say some other niche or Chinese brand where you could kind of have a leg to stand on, where you said to me, oh Dimitri, you buy a cheap car from a less known brand and you expect good customer service and warranty fulfillment. Well, here is Subaru. 2023 model, the car is on Novated Leasing, which is a different story of course. And I have had this issue with it that I reported to you not that long ago, showing to you these strange, let's call them polka dots all over the windscreen that is right now behind that camera, that show in the cold and wet weather conditions. It is obviously some kind of condensation. It is obviously some kind of symptom caused by the difference of temperatures. However, like I said to you in that video that you have not watched probably statistically because very low number of views on those videos, it is not related to any damage to the windscreen. Windscreen is perfectly fine. If it's warm and dry, we can go right now, you and I, with microscope or with a camera, we won't see anything. But when it's cold, when it's wet, it's polka dots all over the place. Surely it's not normal, okay? And some of you in the comments to my other video, to that video, said to me kindly, thank you, that it possibly is some kind of delamination of the layers within the glass, because glass is made of multiple layers. Kind of, you don't need to be a specialist to understand it. I took it at the value that it's worth, at that kind of suggestion that you guys made. So I took it to Subaru to say, listen, this is what's happening. It's warmer now. I can't see it right now, but here is a video. It's caught on camera. I recorded a video about this. What am I supposed to do about this? Well, as you can imagine, Subaru, and I'm not blaming individuals here, and I'm not stating anything as fact. The worst brand ever. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm just sharing my experience, just like I do with my MG. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. If people are supportive, they're supportive. If they are not helpful, they are not helpful. In this particular case, I don't blame individuals at Subaru Center, and I have serviced this car there at that Subaru Center before, and nothing was wrong. They were okay. They were just normal people. There was nothing exorbitantly different to MG or to anything else for that matter. To be fair, they were just normal people who serviced the car, stamped the logbook, see you later mate, thank you very much for coming. But now I'm coming there and I'm asking them to use some kind of a little bit of extra diligence, extra investment of time. Well, they just ticked the box, these guys. They said, okay, a mechanic is going to take a look at it. It's not like you can go there also, please keep that in mind. It's not like it's cold, it's wet, it's happening right now, and I can drive there right now and show it to them. No. You have to make a booking. They have to have time for you. Of course, I understand. I'm not blaming them, but it's a fact. You have to go there when they are available, when they made that booking. Like 2-3 weeks in advance you have to make that booking with Subaru, at least here in Sydney, at least in Ryde where I live. So I go there early morning. It was still early morning. I was hoping it would be cold, but it wasn't. The windscreen looked fine, as it looks fine right now. But I came there, said, guys, I'm sorry, don't want to, yeah, and I'll add something else to it. I said, I'm sorry, I don't want to waste your time. I know nothing is on it right now, but I hope you have some kind of blue light. I don't know, mate. It's a center. And I said, here is a camera, here is a video, here is this and that. What is that? What do you advise me to do with that? And you see where this is going. They basically said, look, right now, we don't see any symptom. Nothing is wrong. Can't help you, mate. What I wanted to add is that when I was making a booking, someone else there on the line who sounded a little more helpful, to be completely honest with you, simply because the person went one extra step and said, could you please send me the photos or video or anything else preemptively? So I thought that because the person there on reception, whatever you want to call it, that person has taken that data, and I emailed them everything, I took screenshots, I cut them out of the video, I sent it to them. That person I thought is going to put it into some kind of process to already pre-show it to some kind of specialist there, and they would say, ah, yeah, that Subaru is coming. We sort of know roughly what's happening, maybe we'll direct him further. I don't even mind if these people said to me, here is a phone number, here is a case that we created for you. We can't prove the diagnostic right now, but you need to call Johnny, and Johnny is going to help you from the head office because they need to take the windscreen for further diagnostic to make sure you properly are looked after, Dimitri. Nothing of the kind. When I came to the center, again, they are just doing normal service. Some dude, nice enough, but again, we're not addressing people here. We're not assessing people as people. They are just doing their jobs. He went there, took a look at the windscreen, says, I can't see anything wrong with this. I don't know what I can do for you right now. We can't replicate the issue, they said, and they wrote it in their report. I said, okay, what am I supposed to do? Well, you can try with Subaru Australia directly, they say to me. Problem is that I don't know about other brands such as MG. Some of you say, oh, well, when you're critiquing MG, you're actually critiquing Automotive Group, whatever the hell they're called. It is people who own the dealerships. Okay, fine. I'm just a normal guy who is sharing my own experience. I don't care who I'm critiquing. It says MG on it, I'm going to say MG on it. It says Subaru on it, I'm going to say Subaru on it, okay? And in this case, Subaru Australia clearly relies on their network of dealerships very much so, because their main website, even when you look up warranty, they say always go to your dealership, go to your dealership, go to your dealership. They will help diagnose, they will do whatever. Well, in this case, they've just blown me off, and not in a good way. And in this particular case, they just said, listen, we can't replicate it. You're on your own. You can call Subaru Australia directly, and God bless. And that's about it. And that's it. And that is why my summation here, my statement here from the beginning was that in terms of wanting to go that extra mile and help me and make sure that I as a customer am looked after, especially when I have photos, when I have a legit issue, no, you can't see it, but I told you, because it's not that weather condition right now, they have not done anything. They didn't even suggest, like I said to you, if you try to be super defensive there, whatever, it's your right. You can say, well, what do you expect, Dmitry? What do you want them to do? They see nothing. Well, at least they could have said, you know what, we understand special conditions, understand there is always someone in this center early morning, 7:30, whatever, 7 o'clock they're opening. Next time it's cold and wet, next time you see this, just drive straight to us. You are 10 minutes, 5 minutes away from us the early morning without traffic to drive straight there from where I live in Ryde. Come to us, then we take our own photos individually, boom, we're done. That is what I would have expected, that. And them not even going that extra, hardly a mile, but just suggesting this common sense scenario to look after me and show that they're better than MG, better than any other niche/Chinese brand. Them not doing it is what makes me say it, okay? Over to you. What do you think? Do you think I'm being fair? Do you think I'm not being fair? What else should I try? Should I literally just knock on the doors virtually of the actual, mothership of Subaru Australia and call them directly and say, your dealership was not helpful in this case. I'm sorry. It's not an individual attack, of course. It is just me sharing my own experience and just giving you as a fact only what happens to me. That's all I ever do in case it ticks off any of you or you are working for a dealership, MG, Subaru, any freaking other one. And of course, you're looking after your interests only. And that's where a lot of criticism I get in my comments comes from. But I am simply warning you, simply telling you things from my experience as someone whose unique service proposition and difference from any other channels is in, if nothing else, then is in high number of the cars that I owned over the previous few years. So I simply have seen more cars than you have statistically, probably, okay? And secondly, that I am willing to cut to the chase and call the BS and call it for what it is and basically not dwell and not dance around this stuff that is ultimately not fair. However, here, speaking of fair, let's latch on to that word. You think that I am only bashing Chinese brands or whatever. First of all, I'm a Chinese car owner. Second car in the family is MG ZST. So I'm not bashing anyone. I'm just literally sharing my experience. Secondly, fair is fair. Here is Subaru. I love this car. It's a good car. I'm glad I have it. It's cool. But it doesn't cancel the fact that right now I feel like they are not any better on customer support, especially when it involves a little bit of couple of extra steps, hardly a mile, to make sure that the customer's problems are properly resolved. So that is my experience with Subaru so far. It's a follow-up video from the previous video, as you know. If you have further thoughts on this or some kind of helpful comments, helpful suggestions, as always, as long as you're not a troll, all comments are still being moderated because there are way, way, way too many trolls out there and I simply don't want their dirt to be there polluting my comments. So I do moderate everything, but you don't have to agree with me. You can just be civil, okay? So I do welcome everyone's opinions in the comments below. Thank you for watching today. This is a check-in, again, a weekly check-in with you. If you're new here and not subscribed, maybe you should. Check out a couple of other videos, latest videos on my channel, in case you need to sample a little bit of my content before you decide. But otherwise, I'll talk to you next week about something else. In fact, those of you who have watched all the way until the end, did you see how I didn't pre-announce it? I didn't want to cheaply hook you. Well, here is a reward. I will tell you what we're going to talk about next week. And you are among the handful of people who will know about it. Next week, I'm going to tell you the wrap-up of my story about the novated leasing. So novated leasing still continues on this car, on this Subaru. And it was a freaking nightmare, and I posted a couple of videos about the numbers involved, about how I regret getting it. Well, I still regret it, spoiler alert, but there is a lot more to say now that I have changed another employer and transferred the novated lease to another employer. So stay tuned, and I'll tell you about novated freaking leasing in Australia. Now, definitely goodbye for now, and I'll talk to you next week.